So far, we've created some awesome looking builds ranging from farmland to mining industry. And with all them resources being produced, we need a village that can use them all. Alright, what I would like to do today is upgrade my storage system, because I'm beginning to develop the start of a chest monster, and that's no good. So, for this episode, I want to have 3 main goals to complete, and they're going to be expand the storage system, build housing for the storage system, and get lots of resources for the storage system. So today is going to be all about storage, with, you know, a few builds and progress mixed in. And in order to start this project, I first need to flatten this land. So what I would like to build is a town that is based around a dock, because I want the build to make sense in the world, and I think with the farms and the dock it makes sense to have it as a merchant town where there's lots of trading going on and lots of goods are being sold. And so I'm going to have different medieval style buildings which will house various goods based on this trading merchant lore I've come up with, and it will act as my largest storage system, and I think it will fit right in with all the previous builds. Okay, so we flattened the land, and I started to mark out where I think I want buildings to go. And you can see that, yes, there's not really a dock, but I want to implement that later on. I think if we can get the buildings done first, then we can figure out where our dock is going to go afterwards. So each of these houses, just here with these marks, they're going to house different things. So this one might have, I don't know, gunpowder in, or explosive things in, TNT. Gunpowder, firework rockets, and this one is going to be a blacksmith. So they're each going to have their individual purposes, and that means that when we have lots and lots of items in the future, we have plenty of space to put them all. And so what I'm thinking we need to do now is place the floor in, and then mark out what buildings are going to be which ones. We're going to label them up, and then we can see what we want to do from there. Now the question is, tough or stone bricks? I kind of want to build out of tough, so I think I'm going to go for the stone bricks. Alright, so we'll place a few blocks down, and then a few more, and then we'll destroy what we've made, place a few more blocks down, and hey, we have a foundation. Cool, so now that that's done, I'm going to label up these buildings, and then we can start making some of them. Blacksmith, jeweler, florist, machinist, brewer, demolitionist, landscaper, stonemason, coven, gardener, beekeeper, and grocer. Alright, cool. So the first building I'm going to tackle is the stonemason, because I'm starting to run out of storage for my stone supplies. So let's do it. That's the first floor done. Yeah, I think that looks good with the red. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Like it. Alright, roof down. Alright, even without shaders, this is looking good, and it's got no details on, so it'll look even better when the details are on. And just like that, it's finished. I am honestly super happy with how this building came out. I think it definitely tells the story of who uses it and what it's made for. And I'm honestly super proud of how this turned out. I'm really looking forward to working on some more, and super excited to see how it all comes together. So now with that building out the way, I'm going to get to building some others. But first, we are going to need a bunch of resources, so I have got to go get some of those. Would you stop, please? I'm trying to pick flowers. Ow. Ow. Wow, this is a big mushroom island. Holy, it goes on forever. Wow, this is so cool. I have not been to the new biome yet. This is awesome. Whoa! Whoa! You're cool. Why are you standing still? Oh, do I have to look away? Oh, that's creepy. I like this new biome though. It's cool. I mean, you guys are creepy, but I like it. Okay, so I've got all the blocks that I need, so now I've just got to do some placing. Building, building, building. Some more building. Building, building, building. Placing some more blocks. More blocks. And done. I really like this build. I'm really happy with how this came out. The roof up here is meant to be oxidized, but I actually don't mind the orange as much. Even though it does clash a little bit with the acacia, I don't particularly mind the reddy orange colour of the normal copper. But it will look a lot better once it's oxidized, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, this is awesome. I like this. Alright, on to the next one. Building, building, more building. Oh, that's actually not looking too bad. Wow. This is quite a pretty building. I really like this building. I like these little windows that I've put just here. Yeah, I think it's really come out nice. I like the chimney. This chimney's cool. I think I've done really well here. Cool, so now I've built a couple buildings. I've now run out of resources again, so I'm just going to go get a few and then we can build another building. I also got an elytra, if you hadn't noticed. So we're back to where we were now, which is great. And I have a spare one as well, just in case I lose it again. So not only have I built one building, but I've also built another. And another one. And this small town is really starting to come to life. So with the addition of a wood shop, a witch's coven, and a landscaping shop, that leaves us with 7 left to build. And hopefully, once they're all done, it will look like a full-fledged town. I've also started marking out where I want a path to go, because where this mud line is, I would like a retaining wall coming down into a dock with a raised path. Maybe I'm not sure. I think I'm going to try and make it so that the idea behind this retaining wall is because it was a bit of a floodplain. I mean, obviously this is Minecraft, so that doesn't actually exist, but I think when you build in Minecraft, you have to make it somewhat realistic so that you can relate it to real life. And with a retaining wall, it makes sense because this place would flood because it's such a large river. And especially with a jungle nearby, jungles are susceptible to rain, so it makes sense. So yeah, with a retaining wall and a dock and 7 buildings left to build, I think it's going to look great once it's finished. So I better get to work. So we'll start with the grocery store, and this is going to house all edible food and some crops. I went with a black and white colour palette because I thought it would be quite neutral and it suited the build quite nicely. So we'll finish off with some details and it's done. So moving on to the workshop, this is going to house all the redstone stuff, so whenever I do any machinery work I can just come to this store and get everything I need. And again, just those last few details. Okay, cool. That's nice. Next is this beekeeping shop, which is going to house all bee products and also things like candles, which come from wax. Okay, so this next funky looking shaped building is going to be the blacksmith, where we're going to have all armours, we're going to have some ores in there, and obviously tools, everything that can be smithed. So we'll finish off with some details, and then obviously we've got to add a chimney, because every blacksmith needs some sort of furnace to work with, and we're done. I think it came out quite well. So next up is the jeweler, and this is going to house things like gems and precious minerals. So if I ever need to craft a diamond pickaxe, then I'm going to need to come and get some diamonds from here. So we'll finish off giving that awning some detail, and awesome. So next up is the brewery, and this is where we're going to house all the potions and all the potion ingredients. So it will have things like spider eyes, fermented spider eyes, sugar, all the bits and bobs that you don't really think about. I think it turned out really well, as I fly off in the distance. So the final building is the demolitionist shop, and this is going to house things like TNT, gunpowder and firework rockets, and I go through a lot of firework rockets, so this is going to be a shop that I visit very frequently. And overall, I think it turned out really nicely. Okay, so you can sit and watch this cinematic whilst I go and ponder my life, because this took a lot longer than I am willing to admit. Okay, so we have finished all the buildings, and we can officially say that we have completed the housing goal for this episode. So now all that's left to do is expand the storage system, so we're going to have to put interiors in all of these buildings. Oh god. And then we also have to go get a bunch of resources for it, which shouldn't be too difficult, but it might take a while. Oh no. So we'll start with the retaining wall, and then we'll build the dock, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, let's go. So unfortunately all the footage that I had corrupted, so here's the finished product, and I think it turned out quite well. So yeah, my footage kinda corrupted, but I mean you can see that it's come out pretty well. I quite like this. This is nice. We just got a dock to build now. I also kind of want to put some market stalls on this retaining wall, dock, border area type thing, because I think the market stalls will look quite nice, especially because I want this to be like a merchant area, so I think the market stalls would make that just apparent. So we'll gather some resources now, and then we will build the dock. Let's go! Alright, if this is not enough spruce, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Right, time to craft. Okay, so that should be enough, he says, hoping. I'm not sure if it will be, but we'll find out soon enough. Oh, hello guys. Go away. Go away. Awesome, so we have officially finished the dock. I also put these little lampposts in because I thought it made the area look a bit more natural, a bit more lit up, and I think it looks nicer. So now we need to build the interiors of all the buildings, put some storage in so that we can actually store our items, because I mean the goal of the episode is to expand the storage system, so having storage would actually benefit us, I think. So yeah, let's go. Alright, there's one done, and there's the second one done, and a third one, there's a fourth one, fifth, sixth one, and a seventh, eighth. Feel free, by the way, to pause and have a look at these if you'd like. Alright, there's the 9th one, the 10th one's now done, and there's the 11th, 12th one, and there's the final one done. So now I've finished the interiors, we can start building them market stalls, and that will really start to cement the merchant side into this little village that I've created. Okay, hopefully this will be enough, and I guess we'll get to building. So the reason for these market stalls is so that I can store all sorts of miscellaneous items that wouldn't fit under the general category of all the other buildings. And speaking of buildings, I would love to give them names to give the town some sort of life as if people actually live there. So if anyone has any suggestions, I would love to hear them because I'm hoping for the future to have a full town of houses with some really cool and unique names. Look at these little guys. They look cool in their little market stalls, I like that. He's happy as Larry, he is. But anyway, now with the market stalls being done, we can officially tick off the expansion of storage on our to-do list. The only thing we've got left to do now is gather a bunch of resources, and maybe we can do a few more buildings. I mean, we all know what this dock is missing, is a massive boat. So I think I want to do that as well. But yeah, let's go get some resources. Okay, so I have gathered a pretty decent amount of resources, and I think I'm going to go ahead and check off that on our to-do list. So we have now completed all our goals for this episode, but I am no slacker and I want to get a boat done for this dock. Now what I'm thinking for this dock is I kind of want a few boats around. I mean, that's the start of the boat. I've kind of laid out where I want it to go. I want this rather large boat just here, but I also would like to have some like little boats going along this river. I think that'll look really cool. So yeah, let's build a few boats. So I really wanted to add some liveliness to this place, and I think these little boats floating along the river really achieve what I intended to do. I think it makes the river feel actually useful and the dock to be important in the surrounding area. I've got to say, these little boats are really cool. I love them. They're so cute and quaint. I like it. But do you know what's even better than a little boat? A big one! And honestly, I couldn't be more proud of this boat. Considering this is the first boat that I've ever built in Minecraft, off of my own back too. Like this was fully designed by me. I took, little bits of inspiration from like online images, but this is my design entirely. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty chuffed with this. I've got to say, I've done a pretty good job, in my opinion. Anyway, I mean, you'll have to let me know what you think, but I'm super proud of this. I love the sail. I love the shape of the boat. I think the proportions are really good. The only thing that I think I could improve on is potentially sinking it into the ocean a bit more, because it might seem a bit unrealistic to float the way it is right now. So maybe that could be an improvement. But I think overall, for a first design, this is pretty damn good. So unfortunately we have come to the end of the episode. I've achieved every single thing that I wanted to, so I'm super happy with that, and I'm loving the way this world is turning out. I think we're making such excellent progress considering I've only spent, a few hundred hours in this world, but honestly, super happy with how this village turned out. Super happy with all the dock, all of the retaining wall, everything. I'm so proud of myself with this one. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching this far, because honestly, it's people like you that allow me to do this sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I really do. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.